What up, y'all? It's Kid FortWorthFabian, BigBossFabo. I'm back with a video for the channel. I'm actually doing a reaction to Alex Murdaugh moved to protective custody at maximum security prison. This is from News 19 WLTX. It's actually dropped about 3 days ago. So the South Carolina Department of Corrections announced that they had moved with double murder Alex Murdaugh into protective custody at a maximum security prison in the state. Murdaugh was convicted of killing his wife Maggie and son Paul in 2021 at their family home in Colton County, South Carolina. He had received 2 life sentences. So I thought they would have done this to begin with. I thought he was already a high risk inmate. I didn't think he'd be in any type of general population. So I thought from the start he would be put into a protective custody. It's kind of surprising to see that this wasn't done to begin with. I think this was talked about. Everybody assumed this would already have been done. So let's kind of see what they say about this. Hopefully they kind of give us reason as to why. One can assume why people out to get him. A lot of people threatening his life. A lot of people have reason to want to harm him. So be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Hit the notification bell. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, FortWorthFabian. It's the road to 1 million subs. Peace, love, prosperity to everybody who's been rocking with the channel. If you're new to the channel, man, this is a reaction channel. I do all types of reaction content. Check out my playlist page to get familiarized with all the different forms of content I drop. And if you have additional recommendations, man, comment them down below. Check out my description as well, man. Donations are open on the channel, so let's go ahead and hop right in. Now, this is a short video, 40 seconds or so.
An update now on Alex Murdaugh. The Department of Corrections says the convicted double murderer has finished the evaluation process and he's been moved to a maximum security prison, but they won't tell us where. The Corrections Department will only say he's being housed in a statewide protective custody unit.
Hold up, they say he done the what?
A maximum security prison has finished the evaluation process.
There's an evaluation process, so he's been going through evaluation this whole time, is what you're telling me?
Yes.
Wow. So what does that even include? Evaluation,
And he's been moved to a maximum security prison, but they won't tell us where. The Corrections Department will only say he's being housed in a statewide protective custody unit. Inmates in this type of unit are separated from the general population. Murdaugh is one of 28 inmates housed in the self-contained unit. We're being told that he will be in a single 8 by 10 foot cell that contains a bed, toilet, and sink. The Corrections Department says the location isn't being released for safety and security reasons. The location isn't being released for safety and security reasons.
Okay. So Alex Murdaugh moved to protective custody at maximum security prison. Now that was News 19. There's a few sources that are kind of cited the same thing. Let's see. This one is from WHAS. Let's see if they kind of have additional context to provide. Right. This one is a 30-second clip.
Convicted murderer Alex Murdaugh is now in a protective custody unit inside a maximum security prison in South Carolina. The prison's board recommended the move. Murdaugh will be in a single 8 by 10 foot cell that contains a bed, toilet, and sink. He'll also have the same privileges that a general population inmate has in their cell. Only 28, though, are in this protective custody at the prison. Murdaugh was sentenced to 2 life sentences for the killings of his wife and son at the family's property back in 2021. Convicted murderer Alex Murdaugh is now in a protective.
So yeah, man, there you have it. Alex Murdaugh now in protective custody. So I guess he went through some type of evaluation process, and then at that point in time, they deemed it was fit to move him to protective custody. Honestly, I don't think that's the case. I think that they probably had that within the sequence of steps to follow. We're just now hitting that point in time, because there's no way you're gonna have Alex Murdaugh. Probably this case is probably one of the biggest in the last decade. You know what I'm saying? In terms of exposure, just the top, like the media had a field day with this one. You know, even streaming platforms, you know, really, I would say taking advantage, really milking uh, the opportunity to cover such a story, to create, you know, crime documentaries and series off of. So, yeah, man, this one's deep. This one's big. So, that being said, I would automatically think that he would be put or housed in some type of protective custody, maximum security, because the case is too popular. He's famous at this point. What do they do with celebrities? They always put them in protective custody, or they put them in separated housing. But then again, there's people that want to do harm to this man. So it's tying into his protection as well. That's what I believe. A lot of people are ready to do things to this man. You know what I'm saying? And that's the thing about going to prison, how the crimes you commit could heavily influence your experience in prison. A lot of people who are committing crimes that have just such a, I would say, such an unjust moral or ethic tying to them, those folks, you know, tend to have the worst time. And a lot of people say a crime's a crime. It's some of them crimes are naturally unethical or immoral. But there's certain things, you know, I don't really want to speak it or have to go into detail, but you guys can kind of fathom or understand, you know, like minor cases, things that are just like, those are just unfathomable acts that people do to, you know, kids or things like that, or, you know, elderly folks. Those type of crimes get punishable times 10 in prison, just by other inmates who are willing to pretty much lash out or put some hands on you, do some things to you. That's what I mean by that. Sometimes your crimes can have further consequences behind those bars, because there's people that tend to look into what other inmates do, crimes they commit, and that will dictate how they treat you in there, because they try to get a perception of who you are on the outside. What did you do on the outside to land you inside? And if I know you did some weirdo stuff, we're going to handle you that way. We're going to treat you that way. You know what I mean? So that's why I believe that is partially tying into Murdaugh's, you know, protective custody stay or move. So let me know y'all's thoughts on this one in the comment section below. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit the notification bell, follow me on Instagram, Twitter, FortWorthFabian. It's the road to a million, man. Peace, love, prosperity. Let me know if you have additional recommendations. If you're new to the channel, like I said earlier in the video, check out the playlist page to see all the different forms of content I upload and drop on the channel. So yeah, with that being said, peace, love, prosperity. We'll catch you guys in the next video, man. We out.